Am I wrong for leaving my mom's house and going to my dad's after fighting with my half-siblings about us not having the same dad? I, 16 male, have a different dad than my half-siblings, 14 male, 12F and 11F. My mom is married to their dad and the two of them act like I'm theirs and like my dad is just some random dude I see every other week. They try downplaying the fact he's my dad and he has 50% custody of me. I told my mom before they should cut it out and she said I technically have two dads and the one at her house is better and I should be grateful he was willing to take me on and claim me as his. He told me I don't get to call another man dad in his house and stuff like that, which pisses me off and makes me want to do things that wouldn't be good. My half-siblings know I live somewhere else every other week, but they treat it like it's totally normal for someone to be with a non-parent half the time. They always tell me our dad lives there and I shouldn't call someone else dad. I found photos of my dad holding me when I was born and showed them, but they still acted like it was wrong. When I was younger, because of how bad things were, I asked my dad if he was my real dad. He said he was and reassured me that he had no doubts, but I was so frustrated by it that we did a DNA test and it proved he is my biological dad. I never told mom or let anyone in her family know because she would lose her shit on dad if she knew. But I know 100% he's my dad. Not my half-sibling's dad. And I know that being married to my mom doesn't mean he gets to push my dad out. It's getting harder to stay calm when this stuff comes up at my mom's house. Then we had an incident a couple of weeks ago and there's trouble coming out of it. I was at my mom's house and my half-siblings wanted to do something for their dad's 40th birthday. They wanted me to buy a gift from all four of us and I said no. They said he's our dad and he deserves it and I said no and he's not my dad. They called me a turd and made a huge deal out of me denying he's my dad. I told them they can't undo the fact my dad is my dad in every single way. I told them I don't even like their stupid dad and to get the away from me. The youngest went to her room but the other two stayed and said I was such a jerk and so mean and I should be better. My half-brother called me retarded and said I need to stop treating our dad like he's some random guy. He said our dad deserves way better and he told me he wasn't going to stop and they'd steal money from me if they had to. My half-sister said they were too young to work or have their own money and he deserves something. I said he'd get nothing and that was too bad, so sad. They wouldn't drop it and even tried to force their way into my room, at which point I snapped and told them to get the away from me and I didn't give a crap about their dad. I called him a giant territorial who can't accept his wife had a kid before she met him and I said I'd rather be an orphan than be their dad's kid. Then I left the house and went home to my dad. He was shocked but he helped me calm down. I refused to go back to mom's after that. She called the police and they asked me if I'd come home and I said not willingly. So now my mom has filed in court and wants dad to lose custody for not making me go back. I'm also getting so much for leaving and for fighting with my half-siblings, and when she found out why, she told me to find my gratitude for my real dad and she means her husband. AITA?